Results take time. So do better days.
You will reap what you sow. Stay on your toes. Nobody knows what you've been through, but you will grow. There will be better days. There will be better days.
Hilltop Hoops, Westside Revival is brought to you by Galaxy Health Family Practice. Galaxy Health is accepting new patients today. Located at 421 Georgesville Road, just across from Sullivan Avenue and Hollywood Casino, Galaxy Health serves the Westside community. Founded by nurse practitioner and CEO Miki Watts, a proud 1996 graduate of West High School, Galaxy Health exists to serve the Hilltop and surrounding communities. You can find out more about Galaxy Health today by visiting galaxyhealthfp.com or by calling 614-272-7700. Follow Galaxy Health on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Galaxy Health Family Practice. Galaxy Health will make a donation to Rescuing Leftover Cuisine to feed those in need for every new patient that comes from their partnership with this documentary. Just mention 270 Hoops or the Hilltop Hoops series when you schedule your appointment. Support Miki Watts and Galaxy Health Family Practice and your local community by scheduling an appointment today. Welcome back to Hilltop Hoops Westside Revival. This episode is going to be one of the most loaded episodes of Season 1, as we will cover 6 different area teams and we'll have highlights from 5 different games. Without further ado, let's get right into the action. The focus of the last episode, Bishop Reedy remained unbeaten and improved to 13-0 after a come-from-behind win over rising Northridge. Without senior Luke Ruth in the lineup, Reedy was impacted early on. Northridge came in with 9 wins and only 2 losses and first place in the Licking County League. The trio of Carter Maloney, Ian Travis, and Ethan Payne helped the Vikings do something that no other team has done this year: lead Reedy after 3 quarters of play. Unfortunately for Northridge, though, basketball is a 4-quarter game. In the fourth quarter, Reedy absolutely demolished the Vikings, going on a 25-4 run that blew the game open and helped the Silver Knights remain unbeaten. Charlie Russell continued his breakout senior year, while other reserve players like Andreas Gordon, Uthman Sharif, and Micah Germany stepped up and played big minutes for Reedy. In the same event, on the same day at Ohio Dominican, Grove City played a thriller of an overtime classic against Louisville. The Greyhounds, who we have not yet covered this season up to this point, came from behind both in the fourth quarter and overtime. Junior big man Craig Gilbert hit the biggest shot of his career, burying this 3-point field goal to send Sunday's game into overtime. Grove City kept fighting in overtime and had the chance to take the lead in the final seconds. Senior guard Graydon Hutchinson hit this game-winning layup to power the Greyhounds to a huge win. Grove City may be out of the OCC League title race, however, they are still one of the better teams in Division I across the board. With a big front court and guards who can make shots, Grove City has the personnel to make a run in the postseason. Back in the friendly confines of West for the first time in a month, we checked out the Cowboys as they hosted Marion Franklin on January 17th. Coming in on a 9-game losing streak, West could have easily folded after going down by double digits in the first quarter. Most teams in their position would have, but this team, they just refused to give up. That resiliency and toughness paid dividends as West continued to fight through the second and third quarters. Going into the fourth quarter facing an 8-point deficit, West put together its best quarter of basketball all season long. Going with a 5-guard lineup for most of the period, West started to move the ball, make shots, and force Marion Franklin into mistakes. Turning in a 27-14 final frame, West took the game from the Red Devils, as this crucial sequence right here turned the tide for good. Kadon Johnson dominated the fourth quarter, scoring or assisting on nearly every West point in the period, scoring 12 of his game-high 17 points. His clutch free throw shooting in the fourth quarter helped West close the game and pick up their third win in the league, the most since 2016. Jameer Johnson was a terrific playmaker in the win, finishing with 9 assists and 2 crucial finishes in the fourth quarter that helped West take home the win. Freshmen Jay Lane and Davion Jackson both received the start and had quality contribution. Getting the call-up from JV this season, Lane and Jackson are 2 more young players that this program can really build on. Lane, in particular, has been on a scoring streak as of late, dropping 20 points in the Cowboys' previous game at South. If he can continue that, the Cowboys will have a great backcourt trio with the Johnson cousins and Lane. Finally, having the game that he is capable of, junior Zaquan Gross had 12 important points and was a consistent finisher late in the game when West needed it most. Surpassing last year's win total, West sets its sights toward the next 2 league games, which can really turn the season around. West will host Eastmoor Academy on January 20th as they picked up their first win of the year at EA on December 13th and will go for the sweep. 4 days later, West will travel down Hague Avenue to Briggs Road to take on their arch rival, the Briggs Bruins, in the battle for the Hilltop. West is looking to sweep the season series against the Bruins for the first time in the 270 Hoops era, which will make this game a highly important one on the West Side. After checking out West, we took a trip up to Clintonville to see Franklin Heights on the road at Whetstone. The Falcons had not won a game since we last covered them against Central Crossing, which made this game a must-win for the program. The Falcons came out looking desperate and played a tough game on both ends of the floor. Senior guards Billy Berry and Abdul Fafana led the way for Heights as they carried the load offensively. In a game that was close all the way throughout, Franklin Heights had the run that ultimately decided the game. Going down by 4 in the fourth quarter, Franklin Heights turned in a 13-2 game-ending run to exit the Northwest side victorious with a 55-48 victory. The win for Franklin Heights was their third of the season, as the Falcons are 3-0 in games covered by this documentary. Let's hope the Falcons can keep the winning going as they go into the second half of the season and head into postseason play in late February. The biggest game of the week on the Hilltop was on January 24th when Briggs hosted West in a potential revenge matchup for the Bruins. West took the first meeting on December 16th in emphatic fashion and was attempting to go for the sweep, which would be the first time the Cowboys beat Briggs in both meetings in a season since 2006-07, when most of West's starting lineup was either still in diapers or not born yet. Early on, Briggs had the advantage. Sophomore guard Aaron Britford, who recently just transferred back home to the West Side after a year and a half at Groveport, led the charge for the Bruins. Britford was aggressive off the bounce and got to the free throw line plenty of times. Briggs relied on senior Sadiq Reeves for some early offense, while sophomore Troy Johnson stepped in off the bench and provided a spark with his three-point shooting. Briggs went into the second quarter holding a 17-11 lead as West looked to be in a bit of a rut with the loss of Kadon Johnson for the season due to a hamstring injury. Lay down and die is not what West did, as the Cowboys struck back with a massive run. While Briggs went up by 8 points midway through the period, West responded with a fury of a run, powered almost exclusively by junior Zaquan Gross and sophomore Adrisa Loam. Gross hit 2 big threes, while Loam provided a huge boost off the bench with his hustle plays on both ends of the floor. Gross and Loam powered a 20-6 run to end the second quarter, which put West ahead 37-31 going into halftime. It was a play of Gross, who scored 10 points in the second quarter and had a pair of assists that really set the tone and gave West the momentum they needed to take over the game. The second half was back and forth all the way throughout. Whenever West seemed to pull away, Briggs answered. West extended its lead to as much as 8, However, Briggs stormed back with more long-range bombs from Johnson. Jameer Johnson for West scored right before the buzzer to send the Cowboys into the final frame, holding a 50-47 lead. In the final quarter, it was anybody's ball game. There were multiple lead changes and rallies on both ends. West extended its lead to 56-47. However, Briggs answered with an 8-0 run to trim the gap to a single point. The late game sequence was highly entertaining as each team traded blows with one another. Briggs took a momentary lead from Sadiq Reeves when he dropped off a dime to Jacquees Keaton to go up 66-64. West quickly responded as a hustle play from Sir Carricker helped West keep possession, where Zaquan Gross scored on an inbounds play to tie the game. Brickford was fouled going after a loose ball moments later and was sent to the line in a tie ball game. Brickford hit one of 2 free throws and put the ball back into the hands of West. Johnson and Gross worked their pick and roll game to perfection all night long, as Gross found open cutters all game, and none bigger than this assist to freshman Davion Jackson, who scored inside and was fouled to give West the lead. On Briggs' next possession, Jackson played tough defense on Jacquees Keaton and forced a missed inside shot, as Gross corralled a tough rebound and got the ball to Jameer Johnson, who split a pair at the line. With a 2-point lead, West stifled Briggs once again, and Loam was found cutting alone on the other end for a back-breaking and-one bucket to put the game away for good. West picked up a massive win in this rivalry, marking the first time in 16 years that they've swept Briggs. The win was only the 3rd time since 2009 that West has won at Briggs. As Coach Scott Ivory said in the post-game locker room, order was restored, as West looks to run the Hilltop for years to come. As always, thank you for supporting Hilltop Hoops Westside Revival. This season-long documentary series would not be possible without your support and the support of Galaxy Health Family Practice. Visit Galaxy Health Family Practice today as they are accepting new patients. With this being our 6th episode of the regular season, the next episode will follow the postseason dreams of all the teams in the series. We hope for teams to have success, to make long runs, and history to be made. With that, the teams who get eliminated early will end in the documentary early, while the teams who have success will get more coverage going forward. We wish best of luck to all the teams on the West Side and hope that potentially we could get a state championship out of this documentary. Thanks for your support, and go Hilltop Hoops.